Who are the buyers and sellers at the 2025 trade deadline that we are less than a week away from? So we're talking about teams to watch, and we're talking about players to watch that could potentially be on the move here at the 2025 NFL trade deadline. So I want to kick it to Sammy here first. Sammy, you give me your buyers and sellers for this 2025 trade deadline.
Yeah, I got four sellers, and I think these four teams are 1,000% going to be dealing to some sort of contender, some sort of middle of the pack team that will be trying to make a playoff push or title push. The number one seller, and I think this comes as a no-brainer, it's the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins came into this year with championship aspirations. It has clearly gone. Can you please stop smiling? I'm trying to make a point here. They have clearly came into the season with championship aspirations. It has not worked out. They are 2-6. They're probably going to trade to one of their pass rushers, specifically Bradley Chubb has been named a lot in trade talks. A receiver to watch is Jalen Waddle. 1,000% he could definitely leave, potentially. Chris Greer might make that move. Another team that could be selling, the Raiders. The Raiders came into this year, and I believe Joe thought they were going to be competitive, and some inner circle within the Las Vegas Raiders thought they were going to be competitive. That inner circle and Joe was wrong. They suck. So since they're wrong and they suck, I think the one player they're going to be shopping a lot, Jakobi Meyers, he wanted out earlier this year or even before the season started. He put down his head and he went to work. I feel like now that the season is officially lost for the Raiders in a division that's stacked, I think Jakobi Meyers is one of those players that is going to be on the trade block. The next team is going to come as a shocker. The Commanders. The Commanders should be sellers. And I know this comes crazy because they are supposed to be contending this year. This team is too damn old to contend. Okay, it's too damn old. They're one of the oldest teams. They're one of the oldest teams, the oldest team in the league, and one of the oldest teams of the entire decade. Okay, like this is a team that needs to trade away their old pieces. Whether it's Bobby Wagner, they could trade away Deebo Samuel again and get a pick back again. I don't know. Some of these old pieces need to go. Some of them have to go. And I know the Commanders are contending. I know they have Jaden Daniels. You need to get within that timeline, within the Jaden Daniels timeline, within the Bill timeline. Whatever timeline you're in right now isn't a timeline that's going to lead to a championship. My last seller, and then I'll quickly go through buyers. The Saints. Look, the Saints are lost. The one player that I think the Saints are going to sell in particular, Chris Olave. Chris Olave's contract is going to be up very, very soon. And because of that, I don't think they're going to want to offer him an extension given the Saints' very weird cap situation. With that being said, I think Chris Olave is going to be going to some of these set buyers at the deadline. The buyers being the Bills. The Bills, I think, would love to have a receiver like a Chris Olave, a wide receiver one, a QB that can throw to Chris Olave. Josh Allen's been waiting for a true wide receiver one since Stephon Diggs left. Another team that could be selling or could be buying rather, the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a team that, yes, have been looking good and getting into form lately. I think they would love to get another piece, whether it's on the defensive side or the offensive side, specifically receiver. I don't know if Juju Smith-Schuster and Hollywood Brown have been pretty good. I think they want a sure thing. I don't know if they're going to be traded within their division. But Chris Olave is available as well. The last team, another team that I think could benefit from a receiver, the Denver Broncos. Now, I think the Denver Broncos are a team that unlocked their offense in the fourth quarter against the Giants, and it really, really went to work against the Cowboys. We'll see if it translates throughout the rest of the season. Their defense is elite. No need to worry about that. But it's all about getting the tools that Bo Nix needs. I like Marvin Mims. I like Courtland Sutton. I think one more piece would definitely benefit them, guys.
Yeah, Sammy, real quick, I'm gonna kick it to you, Joe, real quick. But Sammy, I love that sneak, the seller pick of the Washington Commanders, because I had them written down and starred in my notes as a sneaky seller. Because like you mentioned, if they lose to their next two games are Seahawks and Lions. If they lose to the Seahawks and the Lions, the Washington Commanders are at 3-7. And like you mentioned, the team has been super old. We talked about it preseason, how old the team was, how many veterans they brought in, and Jaden Daniels being banged up most of this season as well. This might just be a lost year for the Commanders, so this is a great opportunity for them to recoup some of those costs that they spent to get those players last year. Like you mentioned, deal some of these veteran guys, get some picks back, and then play for later on in Jaden Daniels' career. So that is a nice seller pick right there by you, Sammy. But Joe, I know you got some wheeling and dealing that you want to do over there. So what are some of these players and some of these deals that you think are going to be made at the deadline?
So I have some killer deals here, and I agree with every seller Sammy picked. I have the Browns, Saints, and Raiders written down as my sellers as well, and I have players that are going to be on the move from these teams and where they should go. Now, my first one, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. Harold Fannin Jr., who we are a big fan of on this segment, is balling out the tight end position, and that means an aging tight end on that roster could be on the move. I'm thinking David Njoku is on the trade block for the right offer. And you know where I want to see Njoku go? I want to see him go to a buyer. I want to see him go to a place that needs a lift and needs to lift the tight end position. And I would love to see him in Seattle green, baby. David Njoku rounding out that offense would be an absolute boom for Sam Darnold and that offense. I think that would be a great fit. He's an aging guy, would love to have a chance to compete, and that would be a great place for him to go to do that. AJ Barner is their top tight end. I think that Njoku immediately elevates that offense, and he is a all-purpose tight end. You can play him all three downs. He's just coming off of an injury. He looked fresh against the Patriots. We saw him catch that touchdown on National Tight Ends Day, by the way. I would love to see David Njoku in Seattle this post-trade deadline. Now, I'm going to go to the Saints. I agree. I think Alvin Kamara is on the trade block for the Saints. I think Chris Olave is on the trade block for the Saints. And I think if the right offer came in, Demario Davis could be on the move. I'm going to go with one. I'm going to start with Kamara because we didn't get a chance to talk about Kamara very much. What would you guys say if come the trade deadline, Kansas City sends Pacheco in a late round pick for Alvin Kamara to add pop to that running back room? There you go. You want to see an offense start to come into form? You get a all-purpose back who is good at catching the football. Pass protection is not great, but that's what you got Kareem Hunt for. Alvin Kamara in a Chiefs uniform right now rounds out that offense and gives them pop that they haven't had in a hot minute. Isaiah Pacheco's fallen out of favor there. He's still young. The New Orleans Saints are rebuilding. They could use a young power back. Isaiah Pacheco's got pop. I think he's got pop. He's clearly fallen out of favor in that offense, though. I think it changes scenery. He's good for Isaiah Pacheco. The only hang up here, Alvin Kamara wants to retire a Saint. He loves New Orleans. He wants to stay there. But I think a chance at a championship and sending him to a contender could sweeten that deal. What the compensation would be along with Pacheco to go back, or if the Saints have to send late round compensation for the contract that Kamara has, all that would have to be worked out. But I like Alvin Kamara in a Chiefs uniform. Next, Demario Davis. Demario Davis is an aging linebacker that could really provide a team some boost here. I think that the 49ers make sense with the gap that Fred Warner left. Demario Davis in a 49ers uniform would round out that defense a little bit better as a team that is still looking to make a playoff run. And I think that adds the pop they need to fill the gap Fred Warner left. Olave, you already said the Bills make sense. Teams looking for a number one wide receiver. Jacoby Myers. I have two places Jacoby Myers could go if the Raiders decide to move him. He has made it clear he still wants to trade. My first destination is the Chicago Bears. I think that he is an upgrade in the slot, would round out that offense, really give them another weapon there. The other one right now is Seattle. Seattle has a very, very barren wide receiver core below the top two guys. There's not a lot of guys on that roster. Realistically, I think they only have two other receivers that are outside of Torrey Horton, JSN, and Cooper Kupp. I think adding Jacoby Myers adds another element there. He's a reliable slot option. And if you pair that with the Njoku, guess what? Seattle has the best offense at that point in the NFL. And I would stand by that every day and twice on Sunday. But my blockbuster, boys, here's my blockbuster. What team is in a win now window that likes to trade first round picks, Matt?
That likes to trade first round picks? I don't even know.
Cowboys?
Oh, the Rams like to trade first round picks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Definitely.
Okay.
The Rams like to trade first round picks.
I was
True.
thinking Cowboys because Cowboys.
And they got a couple of them, too.
Let's say the Rams, they want to add a little linebacker depth, get another receiving weapon to pair with Puka. And they're willing to send a first-round pick and additional compensation to the New Orleans Saints for Demario Davis and Chris Olave.
What?
Both of them. Wow.
Both of them?
And they send it there. They get both those guys. They give a first-round pick to the New Orleans Saints plus additional compensation, maybe a player, maybe an additional late-round pick. And they round out the offense and say, Matthew Stafford, go win a ring.
I don't know how Look, do you think the Saints will take that? You think the Saints will just like get rid of their captain or the leader of the defense like that for a first round?
I think they're in a rebuild. You need compensation, and if it's a package deal like that, you have to consider it. I think that the big problem with the Saints is right now is that you have salary cap issues. DeMario Davis is part of that.
Right.
You're probably going to let Cam Jordan retire at the end of the year.
Right.
You're already talking about Kamara going out for compensation. At this point, it's a full sale. You have to sell off pieces, and if DeMario Davis is part of the package to get that first round pick, because I don't think Chris Olave necessarily gets you a first round pick. I think him and another player of DeMario Davis's caliber, because DeMario Davis is playing out his mind. Even though the New Orleans Saints are a bad football team, he is still very, very competent at linebacker. You give both of those guys a chance to reinvent themselves, and you let DeMario Davis possibly go out on top, because we've already said the Rams are the favorites. They get Olave and DeMario Davis, pencil them in.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.